Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every relationship where you have to stop asking who someone could be and start asking who they actually are. It's easy to fall for someone's potential, their charm, their depth, the version of them you think might show up if they just had time, healing, or the right push. But love isn't about falling for glimpses or promises. It's about presence. It's about what they give you today, not what they might offer someday. So tonight, I want to speak to the part of you that's been holding on to hope, waiting for change, convincing yourself to be patient. Because the truth is, potential is only powerful when it becomes reality, and you deserve nothing less than someone who's already showing up for you fully. Let's talk about it. We often give people a lot of credit when they say they're confused. We assume it means they're struggling with deep feelings, torn between emotions, and doing their best to understand what they want. It sounds noble, even romantic, when someone says, "I'm just so confused," but the reality is far less flattering. In many situations, especially in dating and relationships, confusion isn't an emotional storm someone is trapped in. It's a decision they're making to avoid taking responsibility. Confusion becomes a mask, a socially acceptable excuse for someone who doesn't want to be honest about the fact that they already know what they're doing. They're just hoping you don't. When someone says they're confused about you, what they often mean is, "I know you're not the one for me, but I'm not ready to lose the benefits of having you around." Or, "I don't want to commit to you, but I like the comfort of your presence." They're not confused. They're comfortable, and keeping you in their orbit allows them to enjoy the best parts of a relationship without ever fully stepping into one. It's easy to confuse indecisiveness with emotional depth. We think if someone is hesitant, it's because they feel a lot, but hesitation doesn't always mean inner turmoil. Sometimes it just means they're unwilling to say no to you out loud, because that would close a door they might want to return to later. So instead, they use words like "I'm not sure," or "I need more time," or "I'm just in a complicated place right now." All of that sounds emotionally intelligent, but more often than not, it's just strategic ambiguity. People who are genuinely interested in you don't stay confused for long. They feel compelled to act. They want to move closer. They seek clarity because they want to build something real. When someone values you, they don't risk losing you by staying in limbo. They move, they decide, they show up. So when someone tells you they're confused and you respond by waiting, by trying harder, or by giving them more time, you're not helping them see you more clearly. You're enabling their delay, and over time that delay chips away at your self-worth. You start questioning your value. You start wondering what else you can do to help them choose you. But that's the trap, believing that their confusion is something you're responsible for solving. That if you say the right thing, look the right way, or show more patience, you'll suddenly become clear in their mind. But clarity doesn't come from your effort. It comes from their desire, and when that desire is strong, it's unmistakable. You don't have to guess, you don't have to decode, you don't have to earn it. Confusion in this context is often just emotional laziness. It's a way of saying, "I don't want to do the hard work of letting go, but I also don't want to do the hard work of showing up fully." So they stay in the middle, not committing, not leaving, just lingering, and every time you accept that, every time you make room for their indecision, you send the message that you're okay being someone's maybe. And the truth is, you're not. You're not built for uncertainty that goes on forever. You're not meant to live in emotional limbo. You're supposed to be met with certainty, matched with effort, and loved with intention. But as long as you treat confusion like it's something noble, you'll keep entertaining people who don't deserve the clarity of your love. It's hard to walk away from someone who says they're confused, especially when you care deeply about them. But it's even harder to stay and slowly realize that their confusion isn't going away, because it was never really confusion to begin with. It was a choice to keep things blurry, a choice to avoid the discomfort of honesty, a choice to not choose you without having to say it out loud. And the longer they remain confused, the more it becomes clear they've already made their decision. They're just hoping you won't make yours. There's a unique kind of heartbreak that doesn't come from being rejected outright, but from being tolerated, postponed, half loved. It's the slow ache of being someone's almost, their maybe, they're not right now, but maybe later. You show up, you give your time, your energy, your loyalty, but when it's time for them to choose, to commit, to prioritize, they hesitate. They don't say no, but they never fully say yes. And so you live in this emotional waiting room, hoping that one day you'll be upgraded to the seat you've already earned. But let's be clear about something. You were never meant to be an optional chapter in someone else's story. You were never meant to be someone they circle back to when things don't work out elsewhere. You are not the filler between relationships. You are not the comfort zone someone retreats to when their real plans fall apart. If someone sees you as a backup plan, they're not seeing you clearly. And the longer you stay, the more you'll begin to stop seeing yourself clearly too. It doesn't always look obvious in the beginning. People who treat you like a backup rarely say it out loud. Instead, they say things like, "I'm just not ready right now," or "I don't want to hurt you," or "let's see where this goes." And because you care about them, you wait. You hope, you make excuses, you convince yourself that the timing is off, or that if you just stay patient a little longer, they'll come around. But real love doesn't put you on hold. It doesn't keep you in the queue behind other options. Someone who truly wants you will never risk losing you to indecision. They won't make you feel like you have to compete for their attention or wonder where you stand. They'll show you through actions, not just words, that you are the plan. Not plan B, not plan C, not the backup parachute in case nothing else works out. When you accept being treated as a backup, it slowly erodes your sense of self-worth. You start shrinking your needs, toning down your expectations, tiptoeing around your truth so you don't scare them off. You stop asking for clarity because deep down, you already know the answer and you're afraid to hear it out loud. But pretending you're okay with being second doesn't make you stronger. It just delays the healing you really need. It's not selfish to want to be prioritized. It's not too much to want consistency, effort, presence, and respect. You're not needy for asking someone to show up for you the way you show up for them. You are not hard to love. You've just been loving people who only know how to keep you close enough not to lose you, but never close enough to truly have you. That's not love. That's possession disguised as affection. That's ego dressed up as interest. You deserve someone who clears the board for you, who doesn't treat you like a backup just in case they never find better. You deserve to be chosen in full, to be fought for, not as a last resort, but because you are it. You are the connection they can't risk letting go of. The moment they recognize what they have in you, they don't hesitate. They act, and the person who's meant for you, they won't need convincing. They won't need constant reminders of your value. They'll feel it and they'll respond accordingly because they're not trying to find the right time. They're trying to find the right way to love you now. Being someone's priority means you don't have to beg for a seat at the table. You don't have to chase. You don't have to wonder what you mean to them because they'll make it abundantly clear. So if someone's treating you like an afterthought, a maybe, a convenience, ask yourself, what version of you are they really holding on to? The one who waits or the one who finally walks? Because the real version of you, the one who knows their worth, that's the version someone will not only choose but protect, honor, and never gamble with. That version doesn't sit quietly in someone's backup folder. That version gets front row treatment because nothing less makes sense anymore. One of the easiest traps to fall into in relationships is falling in love with potential. Not the person as they are right now, but the person they could be. You don't fall for how they treat you. You fall for glimpses of who they might become if they healed, if they grew up, if they finally saw what's right in front of them. And before you know it, you're in a relationship with a fantasy. The idea of someone's potential can be incredibly seductive. It's the voice in your head saying, he has so much going on inside, or she just needs more time. Or if I can love them enough, they'll become the version of themselves I know they can be. But while you're waiting for them to rise to that version, you're sacrificing your present happiness. You're holding space for someone who hasn't shown up fully, and may never. Potential is a future-based hope, but relationships happen in the present. You don't get to date who someone might be 5 years from now. You date who they are today. How they treat you today, how they show up today, how they speak to you, respect you, support you today. And too often, we ignore the reality of who someone is in favor of the storyline we've built in our heads. You might see their kindness, their intelligence, or their hidden depth. You might see signs of emotional growth and use them as proof that change is coming. But signs are not patterns, and change without consistency is just a promise waiting to be broken. People can show flashes of brilliance, but unless those flashes become habits, they don't build the foundation for a healthy relationship. The danger in staying for potential is that you end up doing most of the emotional work yourself. You become the coach, the therapist, the motivator. You pour energy into them, hoping they'll evolve into the person you believe they can be. But while you're helping them grow, who's showing up for you, who's nurturing you, supporting your dreams, seeing your potential? And it's not just about effort, it's about direction. Sometimes the person you're with isn't even trying to grow in the same way you are. Maybe you're working on communication, but they're avoiding hard conversations. Maybe you're prioritizing honesty, and they're still hiding parts of themselves. If their idea of growth doesn't match yours, then the potential you see is yours, not theirs. It's not cruel to acknowledge that someone isn't ready. It's not unkind to admit that the version of them you fell for only existed in small moments. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for them is to stop waiting for what could be and start accepting what is. Reality might be painful, but it's also freeing. It tells you where you actually stand, not where you hope to be standing 6 months from now. Reality gives you clarity. It shows you whether someone is truly building with you or just passing time while you hold onto the dream. You deserve a relationship built on who someone is, not who you wish they were. You deserve love that meets you at your level, not one that keeps you stuck in a loop of potential and disappointment. You deserve to be with someone who is already choosing to grow, to be better, to meet you halfway, not someone you constantly have to drag toward emotional maturity. Loving someone's potential is often rooted in empathy, in compassion. You see their wounds, and you want to be the one who helps them rise, but you can't build a relationship on a rescue mission, and you can't love someone into becoming the person they refuse to become on their own. At some point, you have to ask, am I staying because of what I actually experience in this relationship, or because of what I hope to experience one day? Because if it's all based on potential, then you're not in love with them. You're in love with the idea of them, and that idea will keep you waiting in a future that never arrives. So let me leave you with this. You are not here to wait for someone to become ready. You are not meant to water a garden where nothing is growing. And you are certainly not here to be the one holding everything together while someone else decides when, or if, they want to meet you there. The version of love you deserve isn't someday. It's not almost. It's not hidden in someone's excuses, their fears, or their promises about the future. It's here, it's now, it's real, so let go of who they could be and honor who you are, because your time, your love, your heart, it's not an investment in potential, it's a gift, and it's time it was received by someone ready to treasure it, not just someday, but today.